Hello everyone, this is Harry's Movie. In this issue, let's take a look at the story, The Equalizer. McCall was a senior agent. After retiring from his career as a former agent, he worked as an ordinary clerk in a home department store. Although McCall was reticent, he had a good relationship with his colleagues. Ralph wanted to be the security in the mall, so McCall monitored his diet while training his physical fitness to help Ralph pass the physical fitness test after a week. After his wife died, McCall had always lived a life of solitary and regular schedules. He always came to the 24-hour Bridge restaurant around 2 in the morning. He sat in a fixed position, drinking tea and reading books. A Russian girl named Terry would always come to the Bridge restaurant to listen to songs and eat desserts during this time. After 2 visits, McCall and Terry gradually became familiar with each other. Terry was in a low mood this day and had a wound on her face. She sat down at McCall's table and the two chatted with each other. Terry was a girl who begged for life on the street. She gave a disc of songs she recorded to McCall and hoped that he could give her some advice. Terry felt helpless about her current situation, but she didn't dare to make a change. McCall encouraged her as long as there was a dream, there were endless possibilities. The chat with McCall made Terry felt a moment of peace and relaxation in her heart. When they were saying goodbye on their way home, 2 men got of a taxi and took Terry away. They treated McCall as a guest and left a business card before leaving. On the second night, McCall came to the Bridge restaurant on time. But he seemed absent-minded. He kept looking at the place where Terry often sat. But Terry didn't appear. When McCall entered the restaurant that night, the restaurant owner told him he heard that Terry was beaten up badly and she was now in the intensive care unit of the hospital. McCall came to the hospital and saw Terry, who was beaten beyond recognition. A girl was taking care of her. McCall knew from the girl that Terry and the girl were abducted to entertain guests. A man named Slavy managed and controlled them. A guest beat Terry, and Terry returned it. Slavy beat Terry to a serious injury after she provoked a bankroller. After listening to the girl's narration, McCall's heart could not be calm for days. Sacrificing, McCall still couldn't hold back. He came to Slavy's office. He took out $9,800 in exchange for Terry's freedom. But most of the opponents still had weapons. They not only ignored this black man's kind suggestions but also constantly ridiculing. McCall turned and plugged the bolt into the combat mode. It took him 19 seconds to kill 5 people including Slavy. In the end, he still sat next to Slavy. Why didn't you receive the money I gave you? The police concluded that the murder case was a dispute between gangs fighting for territory. The big boss above Slavy sent Teddy, a capable man, to investigate the matter thoroughly. This day was the day when Ralph took the test. But McCall learned from his colleagues that Ralph proposed to resign. It turned out that a small restaurant opened by Ralph's mother had a fire. McCall knew at a glance this was not an accident at all. After squatting, he finally found the clue. 2 corrupt police officers regularly collected protection fees from shops along the street. Ralph's mother was not willing to pay. The 2 policemen set up a fire as a warning. McCall recorded the scenes of the 2 collecting protection fees. Then he flattened them and threatened them with video and asked them to return all the money they had collected. The 2 policemen had to do it to keep their jobs. Ralph, who has no worries, was about to go to work again and pass the physical fitness test. But he didn't know that it was because of McCall's secret help. Here Teddy didn't find clues among the various gangs, but he found out that Terry had disappeared since Slavy was killed. So he tracked down the girl who was close to Terry. The girl lied to protect Terry that she was not familiar with her. After investigation, Teddy found that the girl had told a lie and brutally strangled her on a chair. After checking the surrounding monitoring, Teddy focused on McCall. He came to McCall's residence under the guise of police investigating the murder. After a short conversation, they both felt that each other was not that simple. Then Teddy sent his subordinate disguised as a wire worker to the Bridge restaurant to wait for the opportunity to capture McCall. However, he was knocked down before he could take a shot. McCall walked out of the restaurant and walked past Teddy's eyes while taking pictures. Teddy brought people to McCall's residence because he couldn't rush on the streets. But McCall was prepared to install many hidden cameras in his home. Every move of Teddy and others was under his watch. Teddy, who got nothing, could only go away. The next day, McCall took photos of Teddy to Susan's house, a friend who had worked for the CIA. He hoped she could help check Teddy's identity. Susan found out. McCall killed not only 5 pimps but also Pushkin's stronghold on the East Bank. Pushkin was the leader of the Russian gang. He was responsible for providing all resources including gasoline, weapons, prostitutes, etc. This person had a strong relationship network and no one could move him. And Teddy was Pushkin's assistant, who had been trained in Russian special forces. Once you provoked this group, you would be hunted down indefinitely by them. Susan didn't understand why McCall saved the girl named Terry. McCall said, someone had to stand up for the right wrongs under heaven's decree. Next, McCall found a policeman who was bought off by Pushkin. McCall threatened him to tell the money laundering den of Pushkin. Then McCall sent evidence of the acceptance of gambling by various government officials to the FBI. Then went to the dock to blow up Pushkin's tanker, which made the other party lose thousands of dollars in just a few days. The frustrated Teddy knew that head-on confrontation was not McCall's opponent. So he caught Ralph and a few employees in the mall and forced McCall to arrest him. When Teddy arranged the manpower to kill McCall on his way here, McCall used a strategy of slamming people into the mall and used small skills to solve the two hostage gangsters. Then he asked Ralph to take his colleague away from the back door. When Teddy and his subordinates rushed to the mall, McCall had already set a trap and was in full battle array. He first killed one person with a high-strength barbed wire mesh, then used a long-handled saw to harvest double kills, then he got 3 kills with an electric drill. The tools in the mall have become McCall's weapons to subdue gangsters. Ralph returned to the mall to help McCall after sending his colleague away safely. McCall let Ralph go to the distribution box to turn on the power. And he went to draw the attention of Teddy and others. The microwave oven started to operate after the power turned on. The combustibles that McCall put inside exploded. When Teddy rushed to the power distribution room to shoot at Ralph, McCall appeared handsomely with a gun in his hand. Poor Teddy was still asking McCall before he died, "Who are you?" 2 days later, McCall came to Pushkin's residence in Moscow. Pushkin was electrocuted under his design. The whole criminal gang was uprooted by McCall alone. Since then, McCall had returned to a quiet and low-key life. Terry also regained her voice and started a new life. Although it is the old way of a lonely hero, Denzel Washington deserves the title of actor, and his acting skills are still good. I've seen one of his, John Q, before and it was very exciting. Those who are interested can also see this film. Okay, this is the end of this issue. Friends who like it, don't forget to like and subscribe. Thanks for watching, see you next time.